Alright, so this next video I'm gonna do is gonna show how to create a work group of a couple of computers, show how I am going to connect them and set them up to be able to share resources. Now just before I do it, let me answer the question on what is a work group. Basically a work group in networking refers to a bunch of computers on the same LAN segment being able to connect to each other and, as I say, share files, folders and resources. Okay, so first thing first, I will go to my virtual box. I already have machines up and running, so I'm going to open the server first, and I'm just going to close the server manager window here. All right, machine was already running earlier on and stopped, so I just have to put some verbiage in here telling the machine why I had to restart it. Alright, close this, close server manager. Okay, so going ahead now to go and set the machines up in the work group. First thing first, I'm going to just check the computer to make sure not just the computer name, but the computer is also set in a work group and not a domain. So if you see here under the computer domain and work group settings, you're going to see where it says work groups is already in a work group. The only other thing I'm going to look at to see what's the computer name and if I need to change that. So if I click on change settings here, computer name, okay, it says the computer name is Win 2008 server, so I'll leave that for the time being as is. Right, so close this properties window. Alright, so I'm now going to go on the virtual manager network adapter settings to make a couple of changes on this to be able to set these machines up in the work group. So I'm going to go to the network option here, adapter 1, change this from bridged adapter to internal network, right, and change from the promiscuous mode to from deny to allow all. I'm going to click OK on this. As I said, in setting up the work group, what you need to do, the work group connects computers that are all on the same particular LAN segment, LAN being short for local area network. So I go to my network tab, go to network and sharing center, and under connection for local area network where there's view start, I'm going to click on view status. Then I'm going to go to properties. The properties window, there are some options that are going to come up there. You're going to see a bunch of stuff checked off: the client for Microsoft Windows, file and printer sharing, Internet protocol versions. You're going to see version 6 and version 4. This instance here we're going to use version 4 because we're not setting this up for version 6 TCP/IP. Version 6, so you're going to click on version 4 and click on the properties button, and we are going to change the setting from obtain an IP address automatically to put a static IP address and place the computers on the same LAN, so in the same subnet, sorry. So if I click on the use the following IP, I'm going to use a class C address, or 192 address, 192.168.0.10. Alright, and subnet mask using a 255.255.255.0. Now the subnet mask of 255.255.255, this is telling the computer that they are in the same network subnet, right, and that we only have, where you see the 0, that tells you how many host space we have for host computers. So in this instance, we could put 254 host computers on this particular LAN segment for this 192.168. All right. So under the DNS server addresses, I am going to put DNS server IP 192.168.0.1. I'm going to click OK. Close this. Close this. Right. So the network icon is going to show what looks like a yellow exclamation mark on it. That's because I've taken it now off from the bridge network to internal network, so it's gonna connect within the Workgroup LAN segment and not gonna connect it to the internet directly. Okay, so I haven't done this to the server. If I click on start and I go to network, right, I'm only gonna see the Windows Server in the network because the in the Workgroup, because I haven't set the other computers to connect and share in the Workgroup as yet. I'm going to go back one more time. Under these settings for the machine, I'm also going to go back into network and sharing and just make sure for the network discovery we're going to turn on network discovery. Apply. Okay, so I'm going to say yes to network discovery for all public networks. File and printer sharing, I'm going to, well, that is already on. Public folder is on. Password protection is off. Okay, so those are the settings I want there. So close the network and sharing now. Minimize the server machine. And I'm going to go back into the virtual machine and bring up one of the other machines. In this instance, I'm going to go to one of the Windows 7 machines, and I'm going to do the similar things. I'm going to go to the network tab, network app settings, sorry, for the virtual machine. And I'm going to go again and change the adapter here from bridge to adapter to internal network. Change promiscuous mode to allow all. Click OK. Then for the network icon on the virtual machine, I'm going to open Network and Sharing Center. I'm going to go to the local area connection, to the properties. Go to IP protocol version 4 properties here. Again, I'm going to change this address and put another static IP address within the same LAN segment, 192.168.0.5. Okay, so it's going to be within the same subnet. And again, I'm going to put the DNS IP address 192.168.0.1. Say OK. Close this. Close this. Okay. Close network and sharing. Minimize on the machine. Do the same thing on another machine. This time I'm going to do one of the Windows Vista machine. Yes. Put the network settings. Change adapter to internal. Change promiscuous mode to allow all. Okay. Go to the network icon. Right click. Left click, put the network and sharing center. Sharing and discovery tab. Local area tab. Go to view status. Properties. Again, I'm also going to add a static IP address on this. Similar configurations to the other two. Continue. It's not giving me the options to change this, so I'll have to come back at this. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to TCP/IP version 4 properties. Again, static IP address. I'm gonna set a static here. 2.168.0. I'm gonna use .4. Same subnet mask as the other two machines. DNS server 192.168.0.1. Okay, close. The network discovery. I'm going to turn on network discovery here. Apply. So answer continue. Yes. Turn on for public networks. That's waiting for it to respond. Turn on file and printer sharing. Continue. Yes, turn on for public networks. Okay, we're not going to use printer sharing, we're just going to go to do the public folder sharing. Turn on. Don't want anybody changing files, just allow them to access open my files. As a matter of fact, we're going to give them the full option to access open files as well as create files on the shared resources. And last but not least, I'm going to turn off the password protection sharing. Turn it off. Apply. Continue. Media sharing is going to remain off. Close this. Okay, so we've done the Windows 7, the server machine, the Vista machine. Oh, one thing I forgot to do on the Windows 7 machine. Need to go back into open network and printer sharing. Go to the change advanced settings. Right, so the network here, I need to change this network to do some changes here. So network discovery is on. Turn on file and printer sharing. Turn on public folder sharing. Turn off password sharing. Network discovery, home or work. Network discovery on. Save changes. Okay, so now I have one more machine to do, and that's Windows Vista. Let me just check this here. Okay, I think I might have done this Windows Vista machine already. Okay, so my Windows Vista machine is good, and I just have my final Windows 7 machine to configure. Again, I go to the network settings icon for the virtual machine, change from bridged to internal, change promiscuous mode to allow all. Okay, go to the network and sharing tab on the icon on the machine, on the virtual machine of itself, local area connection, properties, IPv4 properties, put an IP address here, 192.168.0.14, save network mask. DNS server is 192.168.0.1. Okay, close. I go to advanced settings here. Okay, so network discovery is on, file and printer sharing is on, public folders is on. Save changes. So this will log off later. Let's go back into advanced sharing one more time. Those settings are already set there automatically, so I'm going to close this now. So if I now go to, or I go to start, or if I go to computer, if I go to network now, I should be able to see all 4 computers, and yes, we do. I see the Windows Server 2000 machine, the Vista PC, Windows 7 PC 2, the Windows 7 PC. If I go to pull up my other machines, the Windows Vista machine, if I click, I go to network, I should also see 4 machines on the Windows Vista PC. Here they are. Same thing with the server machine. I should also be able to see 4 machines on this. Let me just log back into it. There are my 4 machines, and finally my final, if I check the last Windows 7 PC, I should also see 4 PCs here on the network. Computer, network. Bam, I got 4 PCs. Now we can test to see the connectivity for these machines by doing our ping test. If I go to my DOS screen, I type ping that one of these server IP addresses, or better yet, I can even go to ping the machine name. So I am on a Windows 7 machine. So if I go to ping Vista PC, Vista-PC, let's go PC. It's gonna recognize the NetBIOS name, and it's gonna be able to ping that PC. So you see I'm getting a reply from the PC. Alright, and if I go to ping by the IP address on that PC, if I go to ping for one of the IP addresses I have out there, the server IP address is .10. So if I ping 192.168.0.10, I should get a reply from that IP address. Okay, so that tells me there that all my machines are able to see one another and they could connect. If I double click on one of the windows, any machines that I am able to see there, because I have the file and printer sharing option open, the file and folder sharing, I could go on the machine and look at one of the files or the folders there. Okay, so that's it for me for this video, and thanks for looking. My next video I'm going to do show you DC promote the server to a domain server, as well as configure Active Directory on it. Okay, thanks for looking out, guys, and look out for a couple more videos from me soon to follow.